Hello, listener, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Keeping Up Appearances podcast, full of opinion, debate, and football trivia with a hint of nostalgia. I'm Callum Murray, and here with me is
Sean O'Hara,
Bob Gall, and Michael Tosh.
They say not to judge a book by its cover, but we might judge a player by their appearance. Let's get into it.
It's Carney, what's he going to do? Ready! Jackson Ready! Oh, yes!
That was Doggo?
Yeah, want to see him?
Yes, please.
Mini golden doodle.
Oh, that's good.
Funny name.
What'd you say?
That's a funny name for him.
What's he called, Max?
Binks.
What
Like
is
the-
Binks or?
Binks, Binks, like the cat from Hocus Pocus.
I'm
it's not a
aware.
cat.
How are you, Max?
How about mate? How are you?
Just a few ground rules. You can't say soccer. You're not allowed to say cleats.
Or PKs.
I've been done a few times by that.
Not penalty shots and upper 90 as well.
Things like that aren't allowed.
There's so many things that are just like ingrained into what I say now that I wouldn't even know what they are.
We want an authentic American, Max. I think you want to be saying stuff like that.
I'll be a citizen this time next year, so
Yeah.
Really?
If you start saying like the same stuff as us, they'll be like, this fella doesn't even live in America.
I definitely say soccer all the time. No, it's impossible not to.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Disgusting, that.
The fans will be in the comments.
Yeah.
It's not soccer, it's football, mate.
If I know our fans like I think I do, they will not like that.
Problem is, Max, it's you, so you're gonna have to slag yourself off.
Yeah, there's literally no fans this week now if Max is on it.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving, Max?
We usually go out the night before on Wednesday, and then we go round to one of the family members all day. It's like Thanksgiving food's like our Christmas food, but like they have a lot of it. So like you just eat
Yeah.
all day. Like the football's on all day, which isn't usually, and then everyone's off on Friday as well.
Do you have daft stuff like sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top and stuff like that? Because that's an abomination, that.
No, we don't go that daft.
No, right, okay, fair enough. Relieved.
Here he comes.
Hey, Sean.
Right, Sean.
All right, how are you?
Not too bad.
We already had a Doggo on the screen, Sean.
Mine's not in. Let's see
Look
yours,
at
Max.
Max's.
He's being a bit nervous because he's on the thing.
Yeah, we've
How's
all
it
been
going?
there, Max.
Can you not say his name either?
Yeah.
What is his name?
Binks.
Like Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
You got
Get
him
it.
on.
spot on.
Nerd.
Maradona was a bit nervous last week when I had him as well. So if you introduce it, remember Callum Max is on for Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're all thankful for Max being with us.
Yeah. And then I reckon, teleport Everton and throw it straight to Bob and unleash.
Oh, can I swear?
No.
No. If I can't, you can't, Max.
Family show, Max.
Like where my sound always sounds like it's breaking up. That's actually just me swearing loads.
So, welcome to our latest episode of the Keeping Up Appearances podcast. We have our usual four, but we are pleased to announce that we are joined by Max Burns, our friend over in America, our number one fan. If you didn't know, Keeping Up Appearances is global, and Max is holding the fort stateside. Max, thanks for being with us. You all right?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be on.
Right, no, thank you. And we are celebrating Thanksgiving by having Max here with us today as well for the rest of our American fans. So, yeah, Max, make sure you spread the word. But we'll move swiftly on to what one of us described as one of the biggest injustices in football. I'll let him take the reins of this one, and I'll hand over to Bob, who is going to, no doubt, go into one hell of a monologue discussing Everton's 10-point deduction. Bob, the floor is yours.
I think I'm going to really disappoint you now because I don't think it's going to be much of a monologue, really. I think it's been hanging over us for quite a long time, and I expected us to be punished sooner rather than later. But the thing to infuriate it is the severity of it, really. I can't say understand the ins and outs of football finances, but well-known fact that we've been in a mess for years with the number of players we spent upwards of 20 million on. It was always going to happen. We were going to fall foul to the rule, and the Premier League are obviously going to pick on the so-called little clubs before they get to the ones who've actually got a ridiculous number of charges, like Man City and Chelsea. Initially, I was concerned that we'd be plunged straight back into the relegation zone with the points deduction, but the immediate reaction is one of solidarity and the injustice against Everton, which seems to have united the fan base more than it has been in the past few years, really. So I said before we started that I'm almost relishing it in a way, really, us going up against the Premier League. And I think Sunday will be interesting with the atmosphere and the protests against the Premier League's corruption and stuff like that. So it'll be an interesting one on Sunday. But to conclude, I don't really know I know what we've done wrong. I don't really know how wrong it is, and in relation to City, in relation to Chelsea, and I don't know how that equates to a 10-point deduction. But I think with how bad the rest of the bottom half are, I can see us being absolutely fine even with this 10-point deduction, and I think that would be quite hilarious, really.
Yeah, I think some good points there, to be fair, Bob. I think it has brought that solidarity about, which I think is always a good thing. And I think, again, Everton actually needed that as a club. Unfortunately, we seem to when things are going against us and we're struggling. But I think we did need that as a club a bit more. That's kind of unity again with the fans and the club itself and everyone involved. I don't know where the 10 points has come from. Again, I don't know the ins and outs of it all, but I think the report stated we have had no sporting advantage from it. So to give us such a heavy sporting punishment, I think is unreasonable. I'm not too sure where that's come from. And yeah, I just don't. Go on, what you going to say?
Like the sporting advantage thing, we've wasted a ridiculous amount of money, but we've done it by spending 26 million on Cenk Tosun and 30 million on Yannick Bolasie. We're never getting any sporting advantage there, so I should just forgive that
That's
kind
not
of
really
waste
the
of
point,
money.
though, is it?
It is.
No, I think so.
That's why I don't understand the bit about the no sporting advantages. I think this independent panel have decided, yeah, Bolasie was a bit rubbish. You actually see they get no sporting advantage. I assume that means something else. That's my perspective on it. Like how can they decide that we get no sporting advantage? You know, whatever you say about someone like Michael Keane, he scored one of the goals against Palace that kept us up, and that's the bit I don't understand. Well, a lot of it I don't understand, but particularly that.
I think it's not necessarily, isn't it, profit and sustainability rules though?
Yeah, it's not.
That's what the difference is with like Man City's charges. Some of it is profit and sustainability. That's why I think this, like the team suing Everton for 300 million won't work, because it's all about just making sure that, like, if your owner took his money out of the club, would you still exist? And that's where they went over. They just spent more than they had.
They're all a bunch of grasses anyway, aren't they? So
I'm not sure it's too much to do with transfer, like
that's
actual
what I mean.
transfers itself. I think that the charges seem to be relating to, like, as Max said, like sort of the profits and losses and things, like where money's gone out. And I think the stadium's obviously had a big thing in it, and obviously there was Everton, I think all the way through had kind of like admitted guilt,
Cooperated,
kind of work with it, and cooperated, and know that we've done something wrong here, but here are the reasons why. I think the four mitigating factors were, like, obviously Sigurdsson, the war in Ukraine, COVID, and then like you losing the naming rights for the stadium. So I think it was that. I don't think it's a case of like because we overspent on Bolasie or Tosin. I don't think that has sort of come into it. I think if you look at like the net spend over the years, the last 5 years, I think we've only been in the top 10 once out of the league. But yeah, I think obviously we had those four mitigating circumstances, which I think is kind of fair enough. I think to just be 19 million over is like next to nothing. And I don't know how true it is, but I think in the report they did mention the Sigurdsson case, and that, you know, we could have elected to sue him, and I think we would have got some like 10 million from him from that, but we didn't, for like, I think for, you know, personal reasons and stuff. And, you know, we ended up being like, well, so it seems, not guilty. So again, that's just like a shame. But I think there's a lot of uncontrollables with it. I think the Premier League have been scared in the fact that they're under pressure from government to be seen to be able to regulate the clubs. And I think they've been under pressure to show, right, okay, we can actually do it and we can punish people and we can actually sort of keep control. But I think it's backfired because I think now government seems to be saying, well, you can't because this punishment is just too excessive. But I think under appeal, I think it'll get lessened, to be honest. I think there's no way it stays at 10.
And it happening this year is perfect timing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if you were going to get one, you'd want it this season, and I think you'd want it now.
Yeah.
I think it'd be horrible having it at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And sort of knowing, have that lingering over you for the last few games. Should you be in that situation where you're like, oh no, those last few games doesn't even matter because we're potentially getting 10 points. But as well, I just think that I don't know where they've got even the points thing from. I think Portsmouth went into administration and got 9 points.
Yeah.
Everton spent
Ridiculous,
90 million. Have lost 90 million more than they should have lost, and are getting 10 points. But again, I think I was reading some stuff, and it's like, what's the deterrent? So if 12 points was the maximum that we would have got, what's the deterrent there for like a club like Newcastle or someone spending $1 billion on a team, winning the league by 20 points, and going, yeah, take 12 off us, we don't care, kind of thing. Like what's stopping anyone do that?
Those different cases, though, isn't it? I suppose, like, Man City's is 113 counts, by all accounts. The big difference between Everton and Man City, Everton have cooperated and probably told everything. Man City are deliberately blocking and, well, allegedly anyway, and making life difficult for the Premier League. And maybe you think that when it does catch up with Man City, which I do think it will, theirs is going to be an even bigger ban. I think from my perspective, I actually am not too sort of upset and angry with the Premier League. Obviously, I'm upset that they're getting 10 points, and I actually am not as confident as a lot of people are that we'll be able to survive. To be honest, I think a thin squad and lots of games and a relatively nice start to the season might be lulling a few people. I just say it's a frustration just that you think it's a wider issue, really, that, owners, Everton have existed for, 130 years and, like have been in the top flight the majority of that time, and just some people come in and start throwing the money about and breaking the rules. That puts that under threat. And you've seen clubs different to us, obviously, people like Bury and lots of other clubs who, go under because some owner decides he's going to do this against the direction of the rules and things like that. And I think there should be a lot more questions asked. I know that Everton have questioned their owners and Everton have been questioning their owners for a while, but because of these people, in theory, Everton could be relegated. And, as Max alluded to, there's clubs who are suing, and rightfully so, in my opinion. If Everton have got an advantage and Burnley and Leeds and whoever it is have been relegated as a result, if it was the other way around, you'd want them suing, and that could end up very nasty for Everton. So, one person, one sort of few decisions potentially putting that in, it just doesn't seem right. And maybe that does bring in the need for this independent regulator or something, but that's my perspective now. I quite like, as Bob mentioned, I like all the anger and all that sort of thing. And Callum mentioned, Bob mentioned, I think Sunday will be very entertaining at the ground, and very angry. And I'm looking forward to see that. And, the first decision that goes against us and all that sort of stuff, that'll be great. But I don't know. It's just that's what I've been thinking, really, just alongside that. I don't understand, Bob. I don't know. I haven't read the report. I'm not an expert on, financial fair play in football and all that. But I'd like to think that they've done the research and they're not going to throw 10 points at anyone without sort of just being able to, really. Have they made big news in the States, Max?
No.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Rude.
Well,
I was like, did no one donate to the banner fund in the US? No.
No. I mean, it's on obviously on the football channels. I was going to say soccer channels there, because it's more related to City. Everton aren't really the news. It's more City. Unfortunately for you guys, it sets a.
They never heard of Landon Donovan.
Yeah, US legend, best of all time. It sets a precedent, doesn't it? Really, going forward, and that's as a Liverpool fan, I think. It's not like I'm happy that it happened. I think if you've broke the rules, then you should get some sort of punishment. And I think it is harsh to do 10 points. I don't think they can fine them, because, again, it's profit and sustainability. If you fine a club that can't get any profit, then that's a problem. But now all eyes are on City and Chelsea now. I think the jokes on Twitter have been all week about how City are going to be playing Sunday League football next year if 10 points is for one charge and they've got 115 charges. And then, yeah, like Callum said, where does it stop if clubs are fining other clubs? If City and Chelsea are found out of breaking all these rules, what's stopping then Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea themselves suing Manchester City for those years? Because Man City's it's actually for 2009 to 2018. It's not even the past 5-6 years. What is really shocking is how Man City were charged before Everton were, and it's still ongoing. And like you said, Everton have been really good with the Premier League and saying, we think this is going to happen. We're at this point where we think we're going to break the rules. If we do this, this, and this, should we be okay? And the Premier League said, yeah, and we still got 10 points, which was, I thought, that's why it's harsh. Whereas, like Tosh said, Man City are doing everything possible to not help the Premier League in their case, and making it just a nightmare, hiring all sorts of lawyers with all the money they have, and it's I think it's the beginning of some really big things in the next few years in the Premier League.
How many 10-point deductions would Man City have to have for Everton to finish above them, do you reckon? Do you reckon it'd be the full 113 counts, or?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we won't say anything about wanting City to get deducted until we see how many points Liverpool finish behind in this season. If Liverpool to finish 8 points, I'd want a 7-point deduction.
Yeah, just let City crack on.
Yeah, they're a good bunch of lads. Let them have a go. Let's see what they're cooking. What about Sunday then? Any sort of thoughts? Do you reckon Everton United, of course, for those who don't know?
It's probably still quite a good time to be playing Man United, isn't it, really, with they're still looking ropey at best. I think Goodison will be at its very best on Sunday. And it should be one of those games where we win the game for us single-handedly, the fans. I mean, atmosphere should be feral from the first minutes to the last. Then, as you mentioned before, the first decision to go against us, it might be the loudest Goodison's been in about 30 years. So looking forward to it. And I think we'll probably snide a 1-0 maybe, but I'd bite your hand off for that. And it would be quite hilarious if we immediately find ourselves out of the relegation zone, having been dropped into it. If it like immediately out of it, would be quite funny, I think.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere Man United out over the last 5 games have actually picked up the most points in the league. So I know
it's a myth.
I think so, and I think Everton have done all right in that last 5 as well. I think Everton and Man United are both quite up there, 2 of the form teams in the league playing.
But I think United, when I say fragile and a bit ropey, when they're under that kind of pressure, if they come to a really aggressive Goodison, I don't think they'll be able to handle it, to be honest.
I also read that I've nearly got stats today because I can't remember them, but I also remember I think they've only led for something like 190 minutes in the Premier League this year because they've had like so many late winners and late comebacks. So it's one of them. Everton a lead, and obviously it could be going right to the end. I'm just expecting like a typical Everton thing where you think everyone's going to be up for it, and United will score after 2 minutes and it'll just go flat.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Josh, I was thinking that before, because if you look at, like, you talk about United being fragile, their injury list currently is massive, isn't it? Like, Hoyland's out, I think. Onana limped off on internationals the other day. And you think it's almost too perfect for Everton, this, to the point where it definitely won't happen.
I reckon it'll be 1-0 Calvert-Lewin doing an iconic Duncan Ferguson recreation of that goal from years ago. I know I'm going really specific there, but I'm just dreaming of that.
You do that quite often, Bob. How often do you get right?
Never,
yeah. Although you were right about Iwobi going to Fulham. I remember that one.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, so I'll take that. But yeah, I can just see it being an iconic Goodison afternoon, really.
Like to think so. I think my worry is there's been a few times we've played United the past few years where United have been on a bit of a dip, and you feel like, oh God, we should do them again. And I remember we played them under Van Gaal when I think it was the day Howard Kendall had died, and obviously similar sort of thing. You think Everton will be well up for this. This is Goodison, and I think we got beat 3-0. I think Morgan Schneiderlin scored for them as well, which shows how bad we must have been that day. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone playing well, haven't they? And that's the annoying thing about it, is that it's sort of, if you feel like it's just a blow to the players, because you was the first time I've probably felt for about 3-4 years, oh, we look like we'll be absolutely fine. Nowhere near that battle this year. They just look very good, but got 8 games in December. I think Everton, a very thin squad, unable to make substitutions. I think you're going to have to make sure they pick up the results in them games, and the likes of Sunday's a very good chance. I think they sort of need to win to make that statement of getting out the relegation zone. I think someone like Bournemouth plays Sheffield United or something like that. There's a fixture like that this weekend where someone's picking up points. I think we know from the years gone by where when you're in that relegation battle, someone always seems to be playing someone else for someone's guaranteed points. So you've got to make sure you pick up your points when you can. And I think at the start of the month, when we're not as busy, we need to be looking to win on Sunday, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I think like last season though, like anyone could have went down. But I feel like this year, like the teams at the bottom are just so bad. Yeah. Obviously they all end up beating Liverpool at some point, like Luton did. But Luton, Sheffield United, there's Burnley down there as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're all locked to go back down, and like you said, you get that. If you get that win on the weekend, it'll be fine. But the question really is how quickly after Man United score do you all start booing again?
Immediately.
Booing the Premier League, Max, come on.
Yeah. It's a different party we're booing.
I was saying Boo-urns.
There's the name for the episode, Sean.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, out of them 3, I think Luton look the most likely to stay up these days. They look like they've got something, they're going to fight for points. Someone like Burnley just look like every time you go near them, you're going to score, and they're never, ever going to score past you. And again,
I'm sorry, Tosh.
No, go on, carry on.
No, I was going to say, I think that was always the case, though, wasn't it? When even in the playoffs last year, it was like Luton got through those playoffs purely just because they had a bit of fight in them.
Yeah.
Like, the teams they came up against weren't great, but like Sunderland seems to have a bit more about them in terms of the squad. Luton just wanted it more. And then you've got like Sheffield United who've just been mismanaged so badly. I never thought there was any coming back from them. And then Burnley, in my opinion, company's just being a bit too stubborn. And for some reason, he seems to be the only person on the planet that can't see the issues with the squad. And is sticking with the exact same system with the players that can't do it. So I think purely on a fight basis, having a bit of fire in them, I think Luton probably will stay up. It's just who goes down instead, whether it's the likes of Bournemouth or an Everton now.
Yeah, and Bournemouth won 2 out the last 3. I think, a lot of people were tipping that manager to be quite good, Bournemouth, so you wouldn't be surprised if they sort of have a bit of a turnaround. He looked, I think they've won 2 of the last 3. Certainly the last 2 home games anyway. But you do think it would be the 3, but it's whether we get sucked into it now with 10 points less, maybe. But again, we should have enough. If you said now from the last 26 games of the season, can you get 3 more points than Luton, Burnley and Sheffield United? You'd like to think the answer would be yes to that, wouldn't you?
Right. Should we do some predictions then?
Oh, God, yeah. Go on, Sean, you go first. Since you always just take a goal off mine or add a goal to mine, you've got to go first.
No.
I've already gone first.
Oh, yeah, Bob's got a very specific
1-0. Calvert-Lewin, 83rd minute.
Wow. You know what? I'll go. I don't want to, rain on the parade. I won't go as far as a United win, because Callum will kill me. Sorry, Bob's just muted me.
You're not allowed to go against us, Sean.
I've just said I'm not doing a United win, but I am going to go for a draw. I just can't see I can't see Everton getting the fairy tale. Just in the way everyone wants, I'll go a 1-1 draw, which I think in the greater scheme of things is still a good result, isn't it?
At least say it's going to be a late equaliser for us.
Sorry, yeah, I'll go 1-1, 23rd minute goal for United, and then we'll equalise in the 79th.
Calvert-Lewin.
Sorry, Calvert-Lewin.
Better.
I've had a super box chilling in the fridge all season for Beto's first Premier League goal.
Be out to date by the time he scores that.
Frozen solid.
Yeah, I reckon you do it next time he kicks the ball correctly.
Just as long. More likely to score.
Longer. I reckon he's more likely to get one off his backside than actually kick the ball properly.
Callum, prediction.
I'm going to go 2-11.
What minute?
These
At the
predictions
end, at the end, once it's finished.
I think we'll take the lead on the 11th, and then we'll score the second on the 68th. No, 69th.
Woo.
I'll go 2-1 Everton. And Max,
Oh, Max, spoil the party.
I do the same with someone else, or does that have to be something different?
No, it can be the same.
So I was going to do 1-1 as well. I think Everton score really early, 5 minutes into the game. You all get super hype about it, and then Man United score in like the 90th minute to ruin the party.
Sounds good.
Super hype sounded very American then.
There's his phrase, Americanism.
Also,
We won't be
don't
super
think
hyped at the soccer.
I don't think Tosh has ever been super hyped.
I think Bruno Fernandes puts in the upper 90.
I only get super hyped for the start of Marooned 5, Sean. You know that.
Good link.
Very good link. So, Marooned 5 this week, we'll firstly recap last week. So, last week's was football and returns. And a very close one was won by Pogba with 41% of the votes to Bale with 37%. So Pogba was doing the elite footballers, the Charltons, Van Bastens, the Jason Kumases, all going to be marooned on the island. And this week, we're going to do an American-themed one for our esteemed guest. So what we're thinking this week, a slightly different idea. We're linking back to the old 90s MLS days with the way they'd finish a game with an American shootout or a goalkeeper wars. We're going to come up with a creative way or non-creative way to finish a game after 90 minutes if it's a draw. So we're going to come up with the most creative, the most effective way of finishing a game. Does anyone want to go first? I don't like picking.
I'll go first.
Thank you, Callum.
Okay. Can I just say as well, is that back-to-back Marooned 5 wins for me?
It is, yeah. Well, again, when you steal the obvious one on the day that we're going to do it, I reckon
With
there's a good
Zidane and
chance you might do.
Pogba.
Yeah, I've just tweeted that, to be fair, Cal. Just put
right.
another win for Callum. But again, as Tosh says, that two obvious ones.
It wasn't.
Don't get any,
no one even
don't get
mentioned
any
Pogba.
points anyway.
Zidane literally, we had to change the obvious one 30 seconds before we did it because you took Zidane.
Not a chance. Not a
You don't
chance.
get any-
Anyway,
That's not going to get you to the top of the league table anyway, as it can't, 'cause you don't get any
doesn't
points.
matter. It's Marooned 5, Bob. That's a
So
real
all that
quiz.
matters is this, as you know, Callum, all that matters is the current Marooned 5. Once
Correct.
they're gone, they're gone.
They're gone. Out of sight, out of mind. Anyway, I'm going to go with something that was similar to the inspiration for this Marooned 5 with the old sort of hockey-style penalties that used to be popular in America. And I'm going to go with an attack versus defense 1v1. So my idea would be that each team, so you'd put forward your 5 attackers, put forward your 5 defenders. Each team would do that. You have to pick the order of them without knowing the opposition's order. And it would be an attacker versus defender, 1v1. They'd have 30 seconds to score. They pick the ball up from in the centre circle. They have 30 seconds to beat the man to try and score past the goalie. I think it'd be an exciting way to do it. I quite like 1v1 just in the game. I think 1v1's a sort of an exciting part of the game when you see players who are skillful and tricky, and those kind of players get people off the seats. And I just think that'll be like an entertaining way to finish the game. And you're getting kind of everything in that. You're getting the athleticism, the skill, the speed, that side with the attackers, but then also you're pitting the defenders against that, and people who are really good at 1v1 defending, who are strong and fast and can get the foot in. And then obviously you've got to try and put it past the keeper. But yeah, I think that would be an exciting way to finish a match. Possibly more, skill involved and more excitement than just plain penalties. And it probably just takes the old style, American hockey penalties to a bit of a next level, with some good old fashioned 1v1 play. So yeah, that's going to be my shout for the best way to end the game: an attacker versus defender 1v1 situation.
Anyone got any thoughts?
Just sounds like a smaller game of footy, really.
Possibly it is, but I don't know.
So we've just gone from 11 aside to 5 aside.
Don't spoil my thunder, Bob. Come on.
It's not 5-a-side. It's one on one. No. It's not 5-a-side. It's 1v1. So each team would have a go at attacking in a 1v1 situation. It's not 5-a-side.
So like you pick. So if it was Everton against Manchester United,
Yeah.
Dwight
So first it might be
McNeil will be going up against Johnny Evans.
correct, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Which
Right,
would be a 1v1. You'd have to try and beat them and score within 30 seconds. It's not like a 5-a-side.
Oh, that's
What
what I thought you were
happens
talking about.
What happens if like Van Dijk elbows Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the face?
That's a good point.
It goes to the attack. It's red cards equal goal, Max.
Or he could just get Pickford to sort his knee out.
It could do.
Yeah.
Could do.
That's a good point from Max there. So if there's a foul, it's just immediate goal.
Yeah.
Does the foul go to VAR?
Foul doesn't go to VAR, Max. Referee's on-field decision only.
Did he have to go past them, or can he just like shoot, like get a yard and shoot? Or is it
Get a
a case
yard. No, you can get a yard and shoot. Defenders have to try and block it. They're just going up against them 1v1. The goalie's in the goal. Defenders there. 1v1. See what you can do.
I'm thinking, could they do it like you'd want the elite versus the elite? Could you do it sort of like in a like Ryder Cup pairing thing? You'd want like you wanted to see like John Rahm versus Scotty Scheffler like in the Ryder Cup. Could you have like you're picking in a way where you've got to have the best v the best?
Best be the best. You could. My idea was that you wouldn't know who you're coming up against.
Yeah,
I make it more exciting.
My way could be rigged, I suppose, couldn't it? But no, like say Man City are playing Real Madrid, you'd want Vinicius going up against Kyle Walker, wouldn't you? You'd want to see that.
Yeah. You could even it up the other way, saying City have got to play their worst player against our best.
Yeah, I just thought it's exciting that what you've just said there, the Vinicius versus Kyle Walker, it'd be good to see that in just a little quick 1v1 to do it. Another thought I was thinking was if you would do it, so say they do a coin toss, and whoever won that would decide if they're the attacking team or the defending team. So you wouldn't both be attacking. You could say, okay, we're the attacking team, you're the defending team, and no goal is a point for the defenders, and then who has the most after 5. But I'll go with they can both attack, they both defend.
I mean, I just put other ideas forward, aren't you? Come on.
Correct. But there you go. There's my idea.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Very interesting. Could work.
Well done if you understood that.
You was speaking in tongues for part of that, so
I think it was actually reasonable to follow. I understood it.
It doesn't help that I wasn't listening for part of it, so
I had one-on-one defending and thought this is my game.
I was making the wheel.
I'd be the only one to be picked for both, Callum. You know that. I'd attack and defend.
Not half.
Could you be in both?
Yeah.
Right then. Go on, Sean. You go next.
Okay. So
well, let's do this then.
All right. I've actually planned a little intro for it, which would all become part of the branding. Okay. So you've asked me the question. I've got the answer. Specifically, and the answer.
Yeah.
I like it.
On that one, Cal?
I like that. No, that was good. Yeah.
React then. Come on.
He's just absolutely gutted that he didn't think of it.
I'd react the way everyone else would react and say, who is Andy Answer?
Callum knows.
I know.
I also know as well, but I think most people probably don't.
Well, Google him.
Okay, Google.
Do you know him, Max? No?
No.
You will do, Max. Come on, Max.
You definitely will.
Oh, do you know him,
Street Striker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard Callum talk about that programme enough to know what the answer is.
Griffin, shout out to Griffin. Come on, spresh him.
Spresh, yeah, however you say it, spresh, yeah. Right, so as you can tell, well, you can't if you don't know what the answer is, but my challenge is Wayne Rooney Street Striker inspired, which, for those who don't know, it was on the telly about, 10, 15 years ago. And it was Wayne Rooney going out into urban cities, specifically Manchester, and trying to find the best street footballers. So I thought, similar to Callum in a way, where rather than just having it as a dead ball situation, I'd want to see a bit of excitement. I'd want to see a bit of skill. So there's 3 challenges within mine. So each player takes on 3 challenges, all within, again, 30 seconds or so, but it'll all make sense. Just bear with me. So extra time's happened. It's still tied. We go into I haven't got a name for it. Leave it with me. We'd go into
still tied. You're going very American there, Sean.
Sorry. Still deadlocked. Imagine from the goalposts, 2 lines are drawn to the halfway line, parallel. That's your arena, okay? That's your pitch. On the halfway line, we get a big crane, and on there is a number of footies.
Is this happening on the same day as the game? Or?
No, you have to come back tomorrow. I'm telling you, the way the FA have got it now, it'd be smooth as anything. I'm telling you. They'd have Andy Answer there as like advisor. He'd sort it all. So if you say you had 2 teams, 3 players, you choose one of them, the other team choose one of them, and your goalie is the 3rd player. They're your 3 players who are taking part. Okay. And the challenges are as follows. On the crane, a ball is dropped. The player obviously has to take it down, keep it within the D, which is obviously now a lot smaller due to those parallel lines I mentioned before. When they've taken it down, they've then got to run to the other D with the ball obviously still in their control. But the ball boys are going to be fizzing balls across, trying to knock. Bear with me, I'm telling you, it'll work.
I think there's an element to my suggestion in this, but I like it. Carry on.
Great minds, Bob.
Did you have that? Did you have the ball boys fizzing balls in? That's unbelievable.
Not quite, but carry on, John.
Yeah, so they're doing those like daisy cutter balls, just fizzing them across, trying to knock the ball out the stride. And your chosen player, the other team's chosen player, and your keeper have got to try and keep it. So if they don't take the ball down and keep it in the D, they lose a point. You start with 10 points. Every time their ball is knocked by the other balls from the ball boys, they also lose a point. When they get to the D, unchallenged, they've got to hit the crossbar. I'm telling you, it'd be great. At the end of it, however many points they've got, all 3 players, they get added together. The team with the most points out of 30 is your winner. If it's tied, you have a traditional penalty shootout. No, not penalty shootout.
Just start with that.
You have a traditional penalty shootout format, but instead it's crossbar challenge and it's sudden death.
Is that it?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
I like
good
that.
Good luck putting that on a Twitter poll. Explaining the character limit.
No, you can just say Street Striker or Andy Answer.
I actually think
go. I'm going to re-record that and it'll make sense, I promise.
It made sense to me. I listened, so
it was good.
I listened to that one.
To me as well.
I think there's a few logistical issues. My biggest issue is that you said after extra time. Surely you can't be having extra time and then that. Like, how long is it going to take? Getting the crane into the ground? It's going to take about 6 hours.
As if.
How do you get a crane into Goodison Park?
They'll just be waiting there in the corner.
You've got cranes around field, just wheel them down.
Wouldn't you have to move the crane off then to do penalties? Didn't you say penalties as well?
Oh no, you weren't here, Max. It's a penalty format, but it's crossbar challenge. And it's happening in the end goal. The crane's on the halfway line. You're laughing.
All I'm saying is a good job I was on mute for that because I was laughing the entire time.
Yeah, I noticed.
my other point would be, are the ball boys independent? Because why would Everton ball boys be trying to kick the ball away from an Everton player?
You know what? That's a very good point, Callum.
Might be trying to take his place in the team.
Yeah, we'll have to ship in some third party ball boys.
Could they not just be the other members in the team?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
so stupid, Tosh.
That was stupid.
You know what, Tosh? Yeah,
unrealistic, that, Tosh.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, all logistics worked out. I think that's fairly successful. Wouldn't you agree?
I'm voting for yours, Sean.
Nice one, Bob. I'm voting for mine as well.
Again, I don't even know what you're going to put in the comments on Twitter for people to vote to that.
Street striker.
Just like
Quite
cranes
easy.
and ball boys or something. I don't know.
No, if I say street striker, I bet you everyone will think about what I've just said instantly.
Yeah.
They
How
just
are they drawing? How are they drawing the lines on the pitch?
that referee's foam they have.
Well, that goes after like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
You're
that's
training
it.
ball boys and spraying and like
Well,
passing.
the linesman, the way they do that side shuffle, they're just doing it the whole time, spraying the lines.
They even get like something on the shoes or something to like spray it so they don't have to like, you know what I mean? Just coming out the shoes all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm fairly.
I had a few questions, but you've answered them all. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. So, thanks for that, lads. I look forward to Jason Kumas having a go at that on the island.
He'd be great at it.
He'd be unbelievable at it.
I don't really know what's about him. How you move on from that one? I think anything else is going to look pretty.
I reckon in the episode there.
I imagine Bob's is going to be a bit mad as well, so we'll leave Bob till last. Max, do you want to step forward?
I was about to say, how do you actually follow that?
I didn't want to, so I'm going to follow yours. I expect yours will be
Great.
worse.
Well, what I actually wrote down is that I didn't want to do something that like change the integrity of the sport.
No, I did Sean either.
No, I went for next goal the winner or golden goal. Actually, a bit of football trivia for you. Does anyone know the last time golden goal was used?
In an official match, like FIFA sort of thing, or
Yeah.
2002.
Yeah.
Was it actually?
Yeah. 2002 World Cup quarter-final. Turkey beat Senegal in the quarter-final. Yeah, so I was thinking about that and sort of inspired by like even when we were kids playing in the park or playing in the streets or at school and someone would shout next goal the winner. Also with the American sports, so baseball and basketball play until there is a winner. It can go badly though, I would say, because I was also thinking about what Tosh said, effective. There was a game in the World Series in 2018 with the Red Sox, which is the team near me, that went a full game afterwards. So they went 9 innings. It was tied, and then they played another 9 innings because no one could win, and the game lasted 7 hours and 20 minutes. So I don't think that's quite an effective way of doing it.
Do you know of any cranes in Boston? Or?
It'd be like Sean's game, though.
No, they shorten the field every inning with someone running around with the magic foam spray continuously. Yeah, I thought it would also change maybe how people approach the game, knowing that you have to win or there's only winning or losing. I think I always think about Anfield, for example. Teams come to Anfield a lot and just park the bus and try and get a point or try and catch us on the break. Would that change knowing that you can only get 3 points? You might get teams whose distinct style, like a Sean Dyche's team, for example, who play a certain way, might actually do a little bit better playing in that way. I think on the World Cup final, possibly one of the best World Cup finals we've seen, Argentina-France, would that game have been different if it had continued on for another 20 minutes and it was golden goal? Would France have probably won that game? I'd probably say yeah.
Wouldn't Argentina have already won it though by golden goal?
Good point. They would have. But yeah, it would be something like you'd play, you could do 15 minutes again, just continue 15 minutes, unlimited subs to keep it fresh. Yeah, that's what I went for. Golden goal.
Very original.
Yeah.
At least easier to understand than the rest.
Yeah. I like the way you said yours was inspired by a baseball game and not golden goal.
Well, it was inspired by golden goal, but the same golden goal, the reason why it stopped is because you had penalties after and everyone would just play for penalties.
Yeah,
so there's no threat of penalties. It's
do you remember silver goal?
I was about to say I think silver goal's better.
Silver goal is better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could have done that, Max.
Well, I was thinking you were going to say something like you've done gold, you're silver, you're going to bring bronze goal in and come up with a new idea.
Whoever scored the third goal.
Yeah, whoever scored. What's the most famous golden goal, would you say? I've got the right answer here.
Trezeguet, innit?
Yeah, I've got to be.
What was that?
Euro 2000. That one. Liverpool won the UEFA Cup, didn't they, in 2001 by a golden goal as well, I think.
Yeah, own goal.
I think Germany won the Euros 96 by as well. But anyway,
I think it's a good shout, Max. I think I like the way you know
When
it
you
is
say
kind
Max,
of
should
like
you mean the fellow who invented it in 1990? Or
yeah, just via Max. I think the idea of that it's similar to like playing football as a kid and stuff. I quite like that idea of it. That next goal the winner. If the player's mums have made the tea and he needs to go in, so it's next goal the winner or something, then they can do that. But yeah,
I think
Max
like
is a good shout.
the way you ruined yours, Callum, by saying about like not explaining. I think Max ruined his own argument with the World Cup with Argentina France because you would have been robbed of that last chance of the like him saving from
Yeah,
Colomwani and then the Martinez head down the end. So you sort of ruined it for yourself there, Max. You're doing well.
That's what you're there for, Sash, to correct me.
Thank you. Right, as I say, I think we'll leave Bob's, which I'm guessing is going to be just as absurd as Sean at the end. I'm going to go with one mine, which I expect will be put in place after a few weeks after this. So mine's based on something I actually seen when I was younger, and it was watching my brother in a tournament he played when they were playing. I think they were probably 8-a-side at that point. I suppose your cousin Bob would have been playing as well, actually.
Baller.
Yeah, well, both of them, I've got to say, Dominic and Kieran. As it goes to the game finishes after 90 minutes. Extra time is just so there's going to be some extra time. And what's going to happen is I'm going 3 minutes, but I'm not. I can be persuaded on 3 minutes. I can go to 5, maybe 5. Both teams have to take off a player, and I'm thinking again. I'm willing to be persuaded. This is the forum. You can decide with me. I'm thinking at what point do we make them take the goalie off to make it more exciting? Maybe like the third instance, you've got to take the goalie off. The pitch stays the same size, so both teams got to take a player off their choice who they take, and they just keep going. And I think operating on a next goal the winner. So I'm going to take Max's original idea of golden goal and put it into mine. So I'll have to copyright Max on that one, but I'm going to say so you take a player off and you just keep going. And yeah, I've seen it in action when I think our Dominic actually scored the winner as well, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's all mine. No air, no cranes, maybe no excitement as well. I don't know, but
Right, realistically, Tosh, what happens if no one scores?
oh come on, Sean, it's going down. It's basically going to go down to a big game of shooting in it, 1v1.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So what if no one scores after 5
Keep going.
with no players on the pitch?
Oh no, once it gets down to the last, like I might even make the limit like 3. So yeah,
okay.
you just got to stop and you just got to carry on then. And again, if you can't score with only 3 people on the pitch, we just say neither of you deserve to win.
Then you can just take the goalie off then.
Now I think the goalie off earlier is me thinking, make it a bit more exciting. But yeah, that day can come in the final stages when FIFA are looking to implement it. They might have a say on that, but yeah, that's mine. Any other thoughts, Callum? What do you reckon?
I think it's a good shout. I think I don't know if anyone watched the TST7s. Max, you possibly did over in America in this the summer it was. That kind of sort of celebrity sportsman tournament with the £1 million prize. They had something similar at the end of the game. I don't know what the thing was, TST time or something like that, where they had players taken off one at a time at the end of the game to have a winner. All their games needed to have winners. They done it a bit differently though. So what they had is, say a game was, I don't know, say teams winning 3-1, it would be first to 4 in like this little added time, and you'd keep taking a player off. So it didn't matter who was first to 4. Or if it was 4-1, it'd be first to 5 or whatever it was, and they take a player off every 30 seconds or something. What was your sort of time for a player to be brought off?
3 minutes. I'm going.
3 minutes. Any consideration on that time, or was it just
Well, my initial thought was it's the 10th of the 30, but then yeah, I just think I don't need to put it like 3 minutes. Everyone wants to get home, don't they? No one wants to stick around.
Yeah, see ball boys kicking footies
Yeah.
up.
By the time my game's finished, they're still putting the keys in the ignition of the crane in, Sean. So there's got to be that considered.
I think it'd be exciting, be very open. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting as well in terms of tactically who you take off.
Yeah, end up being like a new game.
Yeah, which is keep him on, mate. Do both these days, defend and attack. Yeah, I like it, Tosh. I mean, it's a fun shout.
Right, come on then, Bob.
So, with the number of new stadiums being built with retractable pitches, I think mine's already onto a winner, really.
I was going to say, I like where we're going already there.
Yeah, so rather than having another surface for like a concert or some snide American sport, I propose that all new stadiums are fitted with the field for my proposal here. So I'm going for something with similar levels of like required physical prowess and tactical nous, but there is like an added element of peril with the risk of going in the drink. So I'm putting forward that all new stadiums are fitted with a Takeshi's Castle style assault course below the football pitch, so there will be no need for cranes. You just press a button, the pitch would go away essentially, and then there'd be a bit of a drink and an assault course to play rounds like bridge ball, wipeout, knock knock, Velcro fly, or skipping stones, which was always a belter. Go ahead.
My thing is, Bob, I mean, I was a big Takeshi's Castle fan when I was younger. No one ever won it.
I know, yeah, but I'm hoping that it'd be like more dangerous, this version of it, so there'd be injuries and stuff like that, and you'd go through the whole team, and it was essentially the last man standing, and you wouldn't have that daft
So it's
game
actually the Hunger Games.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't go to the level of like the final round where they're on those like bumper cars and they have those little.
That'd be too fair. That'd be stupid.
Yeah, that would be stupid. So you just have like bridge ball and stuff like that, and you just be like somebody in the crowd would be able to pelt a boulder at Mo Salah.
Ball boys, yeah.
No, getting the fans involved. Football without fans, nothing. Same with Takeshi's Castle as well.
Yeah. You two need to come together and make a show combined with your two things, hosted by Andy Answer on top of a crane.
And Craig Charles.
We don't need a crane. It'd be at Bramley Moor would be perfect for it because there's a drink right next to it.
That's a very good point, Bob. We could just ask all the fans to leave the ground and stand on the dock.
Oh, I think they will be. I don't think you need to worry about that. They probably will be. I like the way you said, like, yeah, we don't need the crane. We're just going to press this button and all that's going to happen. As if, like, yeah.
Oh, he said,
Sean, you should have just said, oh, no, sack the crane off. I'm just going to press a button and the balls drop out the sky.
No, he said, I'm going to press a button and the pitch will just go away.
I can't think of the word. I'd already said retractable too many times, so just said go away instead.
I'm glad you thought it through, Bob.
Yeah.
I like it, though.
Yeah. No critique there, so I think I'm straight on the island. Jason Kumas is having a good game of bridge ball here.
My problem with footballers these days is they're all media trained, they're all really boring.
Exactly.
Imagine how much personality to bring out. Imagine Jack Grealish on bridge ball.
That would be great. Or imagine Tom Davis on Wipeout.
Which one's that?
The one when they're like on almost like a hoverboard, like a skateboard kind of thing.
Ah, yeah.
Was it Takeshi's Castle the one we used to have to run at the door and some of them didn't open as well? Was that
one
of them?
Knock.
I like that one.
Yeah.
And you should have some of them in like the crowd as well for all the people doing a runner early. Like just add the extra sort of level to it.
You could just do the bumper cars one where they're trying to shoot the balloon.
No, he said he wasn't doing that, Max.
You can't do that because no one ever won because of that round's too hard.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm 30. I still don't understand that round. I don't
think I ever really understood any of Takeshi's Castle.
No, I didn't, to be fair.
Were you listening to the Japanese version or something?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like I was listening to the Japanese version of Marooned 5 with some of them ideas, to be honest.
It's made a comeback as well. Should have put that forward for comebacks last week because it's back with Ramesh Ranganathan.
Yeah, he's on everything.
Yeah.
Right,
all the more reason for me to win this week.
I usually write down all the ideas so I can remember at the end and say do a little review of them, but I don't think I'm bothered with that. So if you
just write down,
go to X and try and work out which one of the selections is your pick, because I haven't got a clue. So a very enjoyable Marooned 5. There's some very good ideas. So go to X and put your vote in. Some very good ideas, and then Bob's.
Read.
Nice one. Right. Should we move on to keeping up appearances then?
I'm pressed for time, yeah.
So we've made a slight change this week because we have chosen our game. We've done that a few times so far and then chosen different fixtures because we don't want to just keep doing the same big teams. Because we've chosen Everton United, we've decided to mix up our wheel. So in our wheel this week, we've got a fairly big Premier League fixture. We've got a smaller Premier League fixture. And then we've also decided to sneak in a little Championship fixture. Don't be too alarmed, though, because the two teams in the Championship game are Premier League mainstays of the past anyway. They've both spent a fair bit of time in the Premier League. So our games this week are Man City against Liverpool, Burnley against West Ham, and Stoke against Blackburn. Let's spin the wheel. And our game this week is Stoke against Blackburn. So we got our very first Championship game.
It's a proper Brexit game, that, isn't it?
What are the chances of that one? Right, then get us the magic number, Sean. Come on.
Okay, so parameters are the same as ever. 50 and 450. And our number this week is 431.
Ooh.
I think that's the highest we've ever had, yeah.
400 and what?
31.
I think this could be way off.
I think big would be better though. Really, you should be able to get.
I don't know though, because I could probably think of like players that play for Stoke for a season or two, but I wouldn't know. Like, how many seasons is this? Like
10.
Yeah. Again, you're gonna have to keep your answers. Only say one as well, because I reckon there's gonna be a limited pick. So don't go around saying. We got a song for the week as well.
We need like an American theme one, don't we?
Where are the kids in America?
Yeah.
No, the theme tune to Takeshi's Castle.
I can't do that, Bob. And also that'll sway voters.
American Idiot.
I said that.
Max. What are we going for then?
American Idiot.
Who wants to do it? Max, can you do it? Come on, do the link for us. As the American Idiot.
As the American Idiot, the song of the week is American Idiot.
Nice.
I agree.
What a pro.
He's done this
Oh,
before.
yeah. Make sure you specify by Green Day.
How long do we get to think? Because
So what we do, Max, we all put our headphones in and listen to American Idiot, and then when it's finished, we answer. So go on, you do that, go on.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
I've got it.
I'm going Scotty Dan.
Do you reckon there's many players who would have played that amount of games for either of those clubs?
Probably not now. It's a fair point.
I think it'll be close. Even he's just a player I think who's played the longest, but I don't think he'd be near it. It's only like 11 seasons for a club like one of these clubs.
And where do you like?
What's even 12?
Well, Blackburn was probably in the Premier League for longer, right? So aren't they more likely to have someone? Because if like Stoke were up and down,
yeah.
I just think that in terms of like cup runs and that.
Yeah.
They won't be like they're playing. Lucky if they want to be playing for 14 games a season. Which team have you got, Max?
I think I'm going Blackburn, but should I be prefacing this by saying this could be way off? Like way off.
It's caught on.
Mitch.
It's caught on.
We've done Max over here by bringing him on, and he's got Blackburn, Stoke.
I know, but that's how the wheel works.
Well,
no predicting that.
I mean, to be fair, like, how much have any of us watched Stoke or Blackburn over the last? How long have you been in America, Max?
No, I meant more the fact his chance to do keeping up appearances. He could have got like Man City, Liverpool, and he's doing Blackburn, Stoke. That's what I don't mean. I'm saying he's going to get any worse than us.
So I'm getting a feeling you are feeling the Championship edition.
No, I like it, but it's just the numbers done us over.
Yeah, the number. Okay.
Have you got one, Sean?
I've got a couple of Blackburn, but I haven't got a clue. I've got an obvious one, but I
can't even think of an obvious one for Blackburn.
Have you gone Blackburn, Cal, or Stoke?
Blackburn. I thought mine was obvious for Blackburn.
I imagine it's probably the same one then, but I've got a few others as well. Like,
Oh, do you want me to go first, then, Sean? You can just pick who you need. If you've got another.
oh, no, go on, you go first.
Okay. Are we all ready?
Yeah, I've got. Hopefully, I've got enough options.
Ready,
I've
Max?
only got one, so I'm going to have to count.
I have one.
So then it was a huge number this week for a hard game. Thinking of it, I'm looking at someone who's played as close to 10, 11 seasons as possible. I actually don't think my player has played that. I just think it's probably somewhere between 5 and 10 that they had at this club. I tried to go with the player I think probably played most games that they were there. But yeah, I think possibly with everyone this week, I think probably all going to be like hundreds off, to be honest, and just see what happens. But given that we're celebrating Thanksgiving and we have our American friend here, I am going to go with Brad Friedel.
Wow.
Thanks, Callum. Jeff Cameron it is.
Fair play, Callum. Yeah, sounds good. He was probably there a fair. I honestly don't even know how long. He must have been there 7, 8 years at least. I reckon. Must he surely?
Yeah, I don't think he got
And
to
again,
10.
he's playing every single game, isn't he? My one again. I can genuinely think of one player I think would be close across either teams, and that person is Ryan Shawcross.
Sorry, I thought it was muted.
Sorry, Bob. I think it was. And I thought we were going to have that one. Sorry. Yeah, same sort of thing as a Callum.
Good
It's
job.
really hard.
Good job with pick 3.
Yeah, well, you can go next. You definitely get yours in. Yeah, same. Not even sure how long he was there. Obviously, he must have played in the Prem for 6, 7 years for Stoke. He was there just before, there just after. He started was a United product, I think, might have been. Came to the United Academy. Yeah. Dog of a player, but yeah, that was literally the only one that I could think of for either team. I think Friedel's a pretty good shout, to be honest, but I didn't have him.
Did he end up at Inter Miami? Ryan Shawcross. Sure, he went to America.
He did go to MLS nice, yeah. Well, we've got one person on who we could ask, couldn't we? Sure. I'll start checking as we're going now as well, just to speed it up.
Who's going next then?
Bob's already had 2 of his taken, so
I don't mind, Matt. Either of you going next.
I'll go. There's only one. So I went for a player who I think was there a while, but I don't think he's anywhere. I don't think he's actually anywhere near 400 and 431. A streets won't forget type player, Morgan Gamps Pedersen.
Ooh, baller. What a left peg.
Some player, yeah. That's you get points for just a good shout anyway, even if it's not close. Yeah, that probably you'd imagine slightly less, but he was there a good while.
That's what I was thinking. I think it won't be. You gotta have usually for someone like Blackburn. If anyone was that good who could have a career for that long, would probably moved on at some point.
Yeah, I agree.
Reasonable. Do you want to go, Sean, or?
I've got loads, I mean, they're all definitely
miles off. Could be way off.
Yeah. But
okay,
I'll happy to go last.
Okay. I'll go for another streets won't forget player, but for a calamitous attempt at a flick. I think while he was at Birmingham, I'm going for David Dunn.
He was one of mine there.
Sorry, but at least you can put the clip on the socials.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have 2 spells there, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Wedged between that. Spell at Birmingham. Probably would have made more, but he was quite injury prone, wasn't he?
And also that
Rotund.
clip just ended him, didn't it? Like, because Soccer AM took hold of that and it was game over.
He was the very first meme, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Was he the taxi one on Soccer AM?
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
Was that him? That
video? Segment, yeah. Great video, though.
Steve Brucey loving it. Brucey laughing.
Put the bacon one back in, sure.
I'll be honest, I might take a bit of a punt here because I've got quite a few.
I've already checked 3 of them.
I've got quite a few options, but I don't think any of them are there that long. I'm going to take a punt on someone. I'm not actually 100% sure they play for Blackburn.
Is he Croatian?
This might be stupid, the fact I'm doing this.
Can
Nuno
I just ask,
Valenti.
are you asking, so you're not sure he played for Blackburn, but you think he might have played 400 times for Blackburn,
No,
is what you're saying?
no. If he did play when I think he played, I think he won the league with them, but I can't be 100% sure.
Why do you think he then played 400 times for them?
Because if he played
Oh.
around then,
And he was
can't
still
remember.
playing.
Because I remember where he went after where I think he was at Blackburn, and I think before Blackburn as well. You know what?
Okay.
This could be absolutely stupid.
Spit it out, Sean.
I'm going to go for Tim Flowers.
He was genuinely in my head, you know.
Did he play for Blackburn?
And
He did play for
Croatia.
Blackburn. Yeah, he definitely did play for Blackburn. I just thought I knew he also, because I knew he played with Letizia at Southampton before.
Yeah, and he
Because
played for Leicester as well.
I knew Letizia, when you know that brilliant goal Letizia scores,
Yeah.
and he talks about because he knew him like he always said he was going to score. There's something like that. I also think was Tim Flowers the only one who saved a penalty from him.
No, that was
Makes you think.
what was his name? I can't remember, but it wasn't him.
That was on the Rest of Football podcast last week. It was someone who saved Alan Shearer's penalty as well. Rival.
Don't you ever mention another podcast on this one, Pat Max? They're the only podcast you talk about.
I thought you were going to say a different Tim than Tim Sherwood.
I don't think he was there that long, though, was he?
Yeah, I don't.
Right.
Did he go to Tottenham? Was he at Tottenham after Blackburn?
Yeah, but probably a bit after actually. Honestly, I don't know.
I never knew he went to Tottenham as like working for them. I think I've got all the numbers already. Actually, my other one thing, and I was thinking Brett Emerton, similar to Morton Gams Pedersen, but again, it's same. I have no idea how long he was there for. He just seemed to be there for ages, but also very injury prone. What was the number, Sean?
I was looking at that. It was 4-3-1. I was looking at that. I was thinking about that team from like early 2000s. So I had like Lucas Neal, but I don't think he was there that long. And I had Gary Flickcroft as well. I only remember at Blackburn, so I don't know.
Should have said him just for his name.
Yeah.
Did you get the sticker book out this week, did you?
Yep.
Did you actually?
Obviously not. I don't even know where it is. I just moved it probably because when we were doing house viewings, imagine they see a little mini sticker book on the table. We're not buying this house of these freaks.
Unless they were Blackburn fans, you go, safe hands.
Yeah, true.
Was Robbie Savage there a while? I was thinking him from like that time. I thought he was there.
Birmingham, wasn't he? And they went to Derby.
Oh, yeah. He started at Leicester as well.
United and then Crewe, wasn't it? I think. But yeah, main part of his career, I suppose. I think I've got all the numbers. I think I've done it.
That's not good.
One terrible guess.
Not good.
Good laugh.
One terrible guess. I'm gonna just double check once. I reckon I'm not going to spoil who it was, but who's the bad one is. But I bet he's thinking now he wished he'd pick Gary Flickcroft.
Good.
Oh no, it looks right to go into Wiki, similar sort of thing. When we have a guest, remember the person in fifth gets 0 points.
Sure, get 0 points then.
So the guesses this week are really, really difficult number. I wish we'd had the 4:30 for a different club. We might get that in the future. That'd be a bit interesting, but actually not bad guesses, I don't think, apart from Tim Flowers, which was unfortunately 225 appearances out. So he had 206 appearances, but he was going last. There was other picks picked. So yeah, I think that can be excused maybe this week. The rest were all in double figures out, so no one else was triple figures out. So not bad guessing. So in fourth place with 348 appearances and 83 out was Morton Gamst Pedersen. I still think a good guess. That for someone I wouldn't have thought he was that high. So that's a good guess. So Max would be in fourth place. In third place, quite close with 357, so 74 appearances out, was Brad Friedel. So Callum in third, getting 2 points. In second place, with 376 appearances, was David Dunn.
Baller.
Yeah, very good guess. And finally in first. Also, the person Bob did want to pick as well was Ryan Shawcross with 453 appearances, so 22 out, all according to Transfer Market. So I take the 4 points this week.
Congratulations.
First 4 points for a while. I haven't had 4 points for a while, so I needed that just to give me lead a bit of a boost.
Did it go to Inter Miami?
Did he? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wrapping up, Sean.
Can I just throw it out there that I did also have Friedel and David Dunn, but I let people go first, so I'm not that much of an idiot.
You get to go first next week. How many did Gary Flitcroft have?
270 odd, so still miles off.
Yeah. I'm surprising that your Gary Flitcroft knowledge isn't as good as I thought it was.
I know. Well, no one else was thinking about him. I like throwing a little curveball
it's good.
in.
I liked it.
Some people just play it down the line, don't they, and go Brad Friedel and Morten Gamps Pedersen. I like mixing it up a bit. Right, if we have a quick look then at our newest league table. Tosh still on top, as I think he has been all season now. He's on 45 points. Bob's in second place on 41. Callum's in third place on 40. And Sean, no change at all after that dire performance with 34 points.
Did Kieran Dyer play for either of them?
I wish. He scored better than Tim Flowers. Right, another good episode there, I think. We had some passionate Everton chat, followed by a little preview of the upcoming United game, which hopefully will be exciting. We got our predictions in. Marooned 5 was arguably our least structured and most chaotic to date, but I enjoyed it anyway. I hope you all did at home. And then keeping up appearances with a little change, we had 2 former Premier League teams who are now playing the Championship, and it was a challenging one. Again, hopefully you had a good go at home. There might not have been many options to go with, but hopefully it was a bit of a challenge for you like it was for us. So tune in to Everton United at the weekend and join us next week for what should be a very special episode if all things go to plan. So see you then.
Hey, good job, boys. Well done.
Nice one, Max. You were good on that.
Yeah. So you'll be welcome back, very a professional.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. I love it.
No, I thought you were awesome, to be honest.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
And I like I said, like I absolutely love it. Like, I look forward to Fridays listening to it. Like honestly, because you don't get like it reminds me of like when we're talking in the pub.
Yeah. That was the idea of it when you started it, wasn't it? Sure.
Well, that's what it was based on, wasn't it? That we played that game in the pub or a similar game.
Wasn't even in the pub, it was in your house.
Yeah, it was. But it started. It was like we were in the pub, then went to ours. But yeah, but then even like Jamie Hutchinson on that clip, he says, doesn't he? Like it's just like being with your mates, which I think that's quite a nice thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You don't get that here at all. Like,
is pub culture different and like sports culture?
Both completely different, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible to be honest.